guys, what is up? I am Karasmai. I'm an NA Challenger Jung. I am known for being a Kayn OTP in the NA server. I've peaked 1.1k OP Challenger. I've hit Challenger every year since Season 6. And I'm here to show you the ultimate Season 12 Kayn guide. First things first, I would like to tell you all about jungle clearing. There's plenty of different jungle clearing going on right now. I think one of the most well-known ones is going to be your full clear. So your full clear is going to go red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, blue Gromp. This is very safe, this is very strong. If you could do this every game, you should, but most games you cannot. So typically into junglers that I fear I would not be getting invaded, I would be doing this clear. So you ever consider yourself that you're not going to be invaded, and you know, a good way to tell this is if the enemy started red, and if you ward your blue at around 20 seconds till your red buff spawn, you should have enough time to get there and be able to do this. So you would ideally want to start red, go Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, blue Gromp. If you look at any of my videos, you could probably look and see that I can clear before 315, which is when the scuttle spawns. Now I'm going to show you another clear. It's actually where you start Wolves. So what you want to do is you want to start Wolves, go Raptors, Krugs, red, blue Gromp. The reason why is because you don't want to leash, because it's going to show where you start. You don't want the enemies to know where you start, obviously. And if you start here, then you are able to not only path to defend your bot side camps, but you can also clear your topside camps and path opposite side of where the enemy junk starts. So typically you would do this if the enemy starts red. Now, if you know this because, you know, obviously they get a leash from the top laner. But if they start blue, well, then you would go Wolves. You would travel over here with your Q and your E. And you would go to his Raptors and then Krugs after. The reason why you do not go to red is because some junglers clear their camps really fast. So let's say hypothetically I'm playing against a Lee Sin, and he clears his camps really fast. If I'm on red, he's going to be level 3, I'm going to be level 2, he's going to be able to fight me and kill me. If I go to Krugs, I can get level 3, and I can even hold Smite if I want to and take red from him, because I could use a trinket right here, find out where he is, and you get all the advantage from doing that clear. So I would definitely recommend, those are two of my favorite clears. There's also a Raptor clear. Raptor is where you want to start red, but you get no leash. You know, your bot lane doesn't want to leash you. Kayn starts Raptors, you hear that a lot, I imagine. So Raptors, Krugs, red, Wolves, blue Gromp, scuttle. Or if you want to do a reverse clear, you can start red, go blue, path down. The reason why you do these clears is to avoid getting confronted by the enemy jungler. A lot of enemy junglers are going to be looking to confront you, so you have to be willing to do different paths. So I'd say typically into anything that's aggressive early on, like a Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, you know, Kindred, I would do a safer clear, a no leash clear. So Wolves or Raptors start. Against an AFK from jung, you could do a full clear, like, you know, a Fiddle, Arthas, Evelyn. You do a full clear, or you could do a Wolves into invade if you want to punish them, because Kayn is also very strong early on, able to punish a lot of AFK farmers similar to him. We're going to go over itemization next. So itemization is very important. Right now, I would say the best items to get in the game probably be for blue Kayn. If you're looking at a full build, obviously you'd get your blue Smite, and then you would probably look to get Prowlers is my personal favorite for most scenarios. Prowlers is amazing if you're going to be making picks one by one, which is kind of what blue Kayn's bread and butter is, making picks. See, if you're going to look for team fighting, you could go Duskblade, but typically if you're team fighting, you should go red Kayn. RHAAST is what we call them. So ideally you would want to go Prowlers, you'd want to get your boots, and you'd want to get, depending on the enemy team comp, if they have 2 or more shields, go Serpents, and then tier. If they don't have any shields, if they have any point click CC, you want to get Edge of Night. So Prowlers, Boots, Edge of Night, Manamune, or Prowlers, Boots, Serpents, Manamune. Now, if they don't have shields or point click CC, you can either go Yumu's if you're very ahead in Snowbally, or Axiom if you feel like you're fighting enough to where you can actually get benefits from the ult CDR. So this is two really good items that you want to get. And for your last items, typically it depends. If you're running these runes, which I 100% recommend, Ingenious Hunter and Eyeball Collector. So the runes would go First Strike, Magical Fullwear, Futures Market, Cosmic Insight. And then for secondary, you go Ingenious Hunter because it works well with Tier, Prowlers, Yumu's, Edge of Night, and a lot of other items that Kayn could build. And you go Eyeball. Eyeball is actually stronger than Sudden Impact after 4 stacks. Shout out to Kara for explaining that to me, another Kayn main from EU, very good player. And I just go double AD with scaling health. I feel like health is better now that it got buffed, so I definitely love the health. But those are my runes. So ideally, so let's say hypothetically they have shields. A lot of team comps in this meta have shields. If they have a lot of healing, I rarely go Chainsword or Executioner because Kayn is a one-shot champion. You need to be able to one-shot like this. If they're able to sustain, then you're probably doing something wrong, or you shouldn't be focusing them in the first place. But let's say hypothetically you can kill them, you can get Executioner as a safety net, but I typically would stray away from that. So ideally, I mean, your build would look like this. I can't buy boots, so just imagine there's, I'll put a control word as a placeholder. And then ideally, I would love to get Grudge right after Manamune. Amazing synergy. So last item, Ravenous Hydra is the funniest one and probably the highest damage you can get, but it's also very, very risky. I'd say Yumus is your best aggression defensive item because it gives you movement speed and a lot of damage. Amazing, and ability haste, so obviously you could dodge a lot of skill shots while throwing a lot. This is another good defensive item if they have CC. Edge Knight's perfect option. Now, if you feel like you're gonna die 100%, you're getting focused every fight, GA is amazing because of Ingenious Hunter. It lowers the CD. That's another good thing out of Ingenious Hunter. Also, a little side note, I definitely recommend getting Blue Orb. So now let's talk about RHAAST if we're gonna go over builds and runes. So this is all for Blue Kayn. So for RHAAST, the runes would go Conquer, Triumph, Tenacity, Last Stand, and then secondary, I like to go Ravenous Hunter and Eyeball. Similar to Kayn, and also double adaptive with scaling HP, so similar to Blue Kayn, RHAAST pretty much runs similar rune set, except he is more sustained damage, and his build is going to look more like, okay, Red Smite, if they're very low range, you're not going to get kited out, which is perfect for RHAAST, team fighting as well, Red Smite. Then you ideally would want to go Gore Drinker, Sterix is amazing. CDR boots I usually go, but if you need a little bit more defensive, you can go Plated Steel Caps. I want to go Merc Treads because you run Tenacity. If you're getting really hard CC'd, you can get full Tenacity, and that'll help a lot. And then ideally, I mean, if they have a lot of healing, I love Executioner actually on RHAAST, so I'll just buy Executioner and sit on it. Once again, I'm going to have another placeholder for my boots. Ideally, it depends on their team comp. I love Death Stance. After the Q80 ratio buffs to RHAAST, I love Death Stance. It's absolutely amazing. And then I would like to get usually Visage final item. If they have full AD, you can go GA or Randuin's or Frozen Heart, whatever you find to be more suitable. Frozen Heart's good, cheap, but you know, you can get more utility out of Randuin's for team fighting, which is RHAAST's bread and butter, as I mentioned. Visage typically is my go-to because of the synergy with the shields and the healing, which is all Kayn's get. And that's pretty much how that build looks like. A lot of people, they usually ask questions like, okay, well, I'm kind of confused. Should I play RHAAST or should I play Blue every game? I don't think you should play either every game. I think RHAAST, like I said, is amazing for team fighting. If they have a lot of close range, non-squishy targets, RHAAST is amazing. So your Irelias, you know, your Trindamirs, any sort of champion. I love to say tanks, but tanks don't really play too much. Like, you know, Mumu, Sejuani, all those champs. They're amazing for RHAAST, but people don't really play those. So in this meta, I'm currently seeing a lot of squishy champions, a lot of high mobility champions, which Blue Kayn is amazing at. So combos. Now we're going to teach you all about Blue Kayn and his combos. So ideally, there isn't really anything too much that you need to learn about. Just, you know, your usuals. A lot of people are curious. Karasmai, what's your full Kayn combo? Well, typically, I would like to use W, Prowlers, Auto Q. So as you notice, mid-air with my W, it's getting the Prowlers proc because I'm reaching them with the Prowlers. If you dash through them, you get 15% increased damage. So you ideally want to try and make it so it's reaching it in time. Oh wait, whoops, my CDs. You ideally want to make sure that it's reaching in time like this. And then you can get either an auto Q or just an auto. And your full combo ideally should look something like this. Oh wait, whoops. I accidentally clicked Q twice, but it's fine. Either way, it should look something like that. So it's really easy to use your Prowlers. You ideally want to use it when people are alone, or whenever you have an angle on them to just get to them. You have to act really quick because it's pretty easy to peel when you're going right on top of them, so you have to be really smart. So this is a combo that requires a lot of patience, a lot of smart. So let's say someone's walking right into me. It's like that, and then you can ult after if you want. Hold your ult, W again, EQ away. A lot of people don't know this on Kayn. Another thing, you should be using your E and Qs whenever you can, because in the jungle you're regenerating mana with the jungle item when it's completed. So ideally, using your E's and Q's will help you travel the map faster, especially on Blue Kayn. So I usually do that. Obviously play at like 1.25 times speed. A decent amount fast. So next thing to talk about, I would say, is matchups. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Kayn can win pretty much every matchup. He's a champion that is very strong at just being able to carry games because he has so much scaling potential with his form. So much either high mobility or amazing team fight components. So he's either great at objective control, which is RHAAST's bread and butter, is amazing at picks and side lane gameplay, which is Blue Kayn's main objective. So ideally, the thing is, a lot of people are wondering, how do you beat this champ? Well, it's kind of different for both. I'd say for Blue Kayn, champions that really destroy him are Warwick, Master Yi, and last one, I'd probably have to say, I struggle a lot against Nidalee. I don't know if that's just me. Nidalee, if played right, can be a very, very, very good champion just because she has so much mobility. She's able to dodge your W with her W. Obviously, if you can get on her, it's pretty easy, but usually if you do, she has Zanya. So I would say it's usually Nidalee. And for RHAAST, I would say it's more like Graves, Talia, and it's also Graves, Talia, and Kindred, because obviously you can get kited out. So Graves definitely is a hard counter for both red and blue. He's the hardest counter for Kayn. He's enemy number 1. A lot of honorable mentions is like Udyr really destroys your early game, but usually if you get form, you could just ignore him. On blue Kayn, you run right past him, kill his backline, easy. On RHAAST, you knock him up. As soon as he goes to EU, you're fine. Master Yi, I said a lot of people struggle with. Blue Kayn definitely struggles a bit with him, but you just have to make sure that you're not full comboing him. When his W is up, you have to wait him out. Just combo him right after. And if you're playing RHAAST in the Master Yi, just knock him up after his Q. Usually they'll use their Q pretty early on, and you just knock him up easy. Well, overall, I would like to just give like kind of an intro thing to Kayn. If you're looking to main a jungler who is what I like to call an omnivore, which means he's pretty good at both farming and ganking. He's amazing at both. He pretty much has everything that a solo carry jungler would need and want in solo queue. This is the perfect. So if you're looking to be Mr. Solo Carry, I have found Kayn to be just the best jungler in that regards. There's honestly honorable mentions such as Viego, Echo, Graves. They all fall into the same category. Evelynn is probably one of the best AP junglers, but Kayn is definitely a champion that has so much more potential to just hard carry games. Whether it's his high mobility or whether it's his team fight mechanics, it is absolutely insane. With RHAAST, there's no special combos. It's pretty cookie cut. It's very straight, very blunt. You just knock up Q, Gore Drinker, make sure you get a lot of swipes in. That's all good. So I would like to honestly mention one little bug, and I was kind of hesitant on adding this in. So obviously, if you're new to Kayn, I would love to tell you how to get your form. The way you get your form is by hitting melee champs gives you red form, red orbs. Prior to your form, you get orbs. So melee champs equals red orbs, range champs equals blue orbs. Whatever you have more of, that's where you get your form. It doesn't matter what you hit last, it's whatever you have more of. Form. So one little mechanic for blue Kayn, if you run first strike and you proc it obviously by taking the first strike, by hitting them first, then you actually get to get double the orbs during the duration that it's procced. Now the reason why I didn't want to include this is I'm very sure this is a bug. This should not be intended. It is very, very strong right now. So if you're looking to main Kayn and do a little bit of abusing with him because of Riot's very questionable coding on this, I would definitely recommend, because I'm getting my form at about, say, 3 to 4 minutes faster. And anyone that knows Kayn knows that he's a champion that you typically play from behind and catch up to the mid-late game, and you snowball rapidly out of control. So if you're looking to play a champion that has a little bit of a slow start, but picks up rapidly and can hard carry, I'd like to add one final thing. This is a very simple thing. Farm form objectives, FFO. These are your 3 main things you need to keep in mind with Kayn. Your first thing you should be doing is prioritizing your farming. So doing your full clearing, then looking for ganks, which is your form, looking for fights, looking for ganks. When you have an advantage, you look for fights. When you're behind, you always farm. And then when you have an advantage and you're fighting a lot and you're ahead, you get objectives. Especially when you have your form, it makes it all easier. A lot of Kayns, they'll play too aggressive early on in their first form. That's not how he's intended. You have to play him how he's intended. Play smart, you play gradual, you get to that point, and you go crazy. Alright, well, thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the guide. I wish all of you the best of luck. Keep me posted with how your success is doing. I hope to see some of you in Challenger. Peace out, boys.